My question is why?
Why am I a NoFX stan?
Why no effects?
Why NoFX?
I never got into them. I
Really?
never, yeah, no, I was a Rancid kid, and I just thought Rancid was a lot because No Effects was doing the skate punk thing, and they
Yeah.
mastered that. And I was just kind of more into the street punk era.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So sell me on the brilliance of No Effects. What was it? Almost
40 years.
40 years.
Yeah. It
Why?
will be 40 years when they end their
Are you
tours next summer.
are you gonna do a video about
Oh yeah.
just
Yeah, I'm gonna do a NoFX retrospective. I'm probably gonna do that around the time, like probably hopefully the weekend before I go to both of those shows and down in Tacoma.
okay.
Yeah, that would be rad to drop that beforehand. Brilliance of NoFX. Well, I guess I grew up snowboarding and skateboarding a little. I didn't get into skateboarding until I was a little older, but um, I grew up doing that stuff, and so just I guess the fact that this whole skate punk thing was so tied in with that. I think that's something that really made it appeal to me. It was really fast paced. It was the speed of it is something I always really like. I always really like this I was like fast music, I was always into before I was into punk proper, I was into the pop punk shit, and a lot of those bands would play really fast, and they would have solid choruses and stuff like that, but then to hear it done with a lot more of an edge to it and a little bit more, consciousness within the lyrics instead of just writing songs about girls or,
Mm-hmm.
parties and stuff. Some of these songs were real political or, social commentary and stuff. And hearing it done that way that's what really blew my mind, because I was kind of almost going back in the timeline from Blink 182 to NoFX.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just like, wow, these guys are doing what these guys were doing, but they're doing it with the aggression of like Nirvana, and but they're doing it way better than both of those bands. um,
Right.
but something I've always loved about NoFX has been their riffing. I grew up playing bass and guitar and stuff, and a lot, and I went through a series of like a lot of time just sitting in my room practicing. And NoFX have always been a great been a good at structuring riffs really well in songs. You think about a song like "Sticking in My Eye," and then there's another part that, I mean, those aren't super hard to play, I would say. I mean, I would say most intermediate level guitar players can play those guitar parts, but coming up with that and structuring it in the right order is a whole different thing, because I briefly took some songwriting classes when I first went back to college. I took some songwriting classes, and I learned a lot about songwriting, and it kind of gave me a perspective of uh it kind of changed my perspective about certain punk bands, and it made me appreciate NoFX even more, just of how great they are at structuring songs. And the Fat Mike isn't the best singer, but that certainly adds to it, and they write their songs in a way that complements that. And the speed, the melody, and the guitar riffing, I would say that's the biggest sell for me. And then the next layer of that would probably be these more conscious lyrics, but I guess delivering them in a way that makes them a little more digestible than, and I would say a lot of bands of their era are very good at this too, but a little more digestible even than Bad Religion. I mean, Bad Religion obviously has a lot of those same great qualities, but some of their stuff can come across as very cerebral.
Mm-hmm.
And NoFX I would say is a good starting point to that, because I think I got real big into NoFX before I got big into Bad Religion. I got big into NoFX. They were probably the first punk band I truly fell in love with, and then Bad Religion I got more into as I got a little older, into high school and shit. And so I would say delivering their message in a way that is a little more digestible, but not so digestible that it's becomes corny and just too soft.